Back here in the U.S., a new report in Education News shows the number of homeschooled children has increased by 75% since 1999. Researchers also say the number of primary-aged homeschool kids is growing 7 times faster than public school kids. Dr. Brian Ray at the National Home Education Research Institute says the increase is partly because the large number of children homeschooled in the 1990s are now homeschooling their own children. Currently, 4% of all school-age children are educated at home.
Delisa, we're here with Third Movement, wanting to bring this video, talk about this topic right here. It's talking about schools, homeschooling going up in America. It's crazy. It said about 75% homeschoolers went up in America. And the one thing that I want to notice, I want to bring to the attention is I like how they blame it on the kids that was homeschooled in the 90s is the reason why. Because they was homeschooled in the 90s, they want to do the same thing for their kids. And there may be some valid points in that, but I'm not going to say that's the reason why I came up I'm not going to say that's the reason why I went up 75%. The reason why I went up 75% is because of the schools in America is not on par with what they were. You know, your kid have a better shot if you were to take it serious and do your own homeschooling. I mean, it's a lot of big known programs out there, and kids are going through homeschooling, and it's been a lot more successful than they're coming out of public school. But what it is they make it so hard for these kids that have been homeschooled to get into colleges, to get into like Harvard and stuff like that, that you're not seeing the kids from homeschool having success on a big level in like the big universities. What's really happening is kids are getting better educated at home. I'm gonna tell you why. When a lot of times when the kids come out the homeschool route, they're coming out with critical thinking. They are able to problem solve and critical think better. They're able to do better critical thinking. And I'm not saying anything about anybody that's coming out of the public school system or a private school system. But what I'm just saying is that highlighting that people are starting to see. When I was an educator, I was always told that learning starts at home. If the child parent doesn't help us out, or if the child parent don't take the child education serious, then the child gonna get a mediocre education, which is true simply just because the teachers only can do so much. You know, you got an 8-hour day, and you have a class with some cases from 12 to 20 kids, and some extreme cases you have 25 and 30 kids in one class. So you can't expect that the kid to get too much one-on-one inside the school. And I mean, you can say, okay, they got tutors coming in and out of the class, but even then, that's only for the ones that are behind. So what's happening right now is people are realizing that if I sit home and have one-on-one with my kid or one-on-one with my 3, and I mean, you got some cases where it's +5, where the family have +5 kids, but I'm saying that's one teacher to 5 kids. That's a better ratio than what's going on in the public school. We really can't blame the teachers because the teachers can only do what they're allowed to do as far as the curriculum go. So understanding that that they're not gonna be able to I mean, the only thing a teacher really can do is I don't know, teach it in a way that a child can receive it, but they're teaching the same thing. And a child coming from home, see, the truth behind it is you're teaching your child from the moment he starts learning. It learns you. I mean, a woman and a child, even when the child is in the womb, he is learning his mother. He is learning, he's feeling his mother. He's learning his mother. And when it comes out, the first two that they're learning are the mother and father. Or in some cases, the mother and grandmother, because those are the two that are raising it. Or, just whatever, the ones that are at home. So a lot of times it's easier to transition for a child from, okay, you're learning this, but now it's time to learn schools, education. It's time to learn curriculum. It's time to learn, what other kids are learning in schools. It's an easier transition. So understand that, you know, some cases, some kids started, their parents start teaching them at 2. You got some extreme cases where kids start learning at 2 and they just start getting educated by their family. And then at the point the child get able to go to school, he goes to school. I really think that the daycare system in America is failing America. Sending the kid to daycare to play all day. At the age of 2, 3, and sometimes 4, it plays all day. I think that's really failing our kids, simply just because we don't take care, we don't take, you know, advantage of that time where they're really learn. Like, I mean, a kid starts learning like on a high level from 2 to around, you know, 17, 18. You know, they just absorb everything. They absorb everything. But if you let me put my personal opinion on it, I think a human does not stop learning. I think a human does not stop absorbing everything. I think learning could happen over a lifetime of process. I think a lifetime you learn. I really do. And I think that we start kids at age 5, you know, a lot of times that's late. We start kids at 4 a lot of times. That's really, really late. So I think we should, you know, start the process earlier. You know, the whole process with the with education should start at home, and then it should be started earlier. Now, I really hope when I start having kids, or if I have kids, that I'm in a position where I can have my kid homeschool. Because I just think that, you know, number one, I'm going to be able to give them my faith. I'm going to be able to learn them, give them a curriculum based on my faith. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's big and better. And a lot of times the homeschoolers are the ones that are Christian. Most of the homeschoolers are the Christian Jewish people who wants their kids to not really be Americanized or get an education from a point of view of the West. Because, I mean, ain't no secret, man. They're not teaching you everything you need to know in these schools. It's a lot of information that's missed out in these schools. So, you know, the curriculum that they're teaching you already has been kind of like created to have a certain effect on the kids. But these are your kids. These are, I mean, I'm gonna put the video link if I can find it in the below of the time of the lady that came out and said that when a kid get to the education level and start getting into public schools, the kid belongs to everybody. It belongs to the community, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not into like a community raising my kids if they don't have my values and my standards. So I do think that this story was a good story, but the blame it on the kids from the 90s, or there was a lot of kids in the 90s and they're the ones that homeschool. That's a bunch of BS. I can tell you right now, it's a lot of people who does not believe in this whole system, the way our government is set up, that took their kids out of this government system and educated them themselves. And I want to spark a conversation with this video. I want to ask you, would you, if you could, take your kids out of the school systems, or take your kids out of the public school systems and educate them yourself if you could, if you had the money, if you had the time to really spend with your child and educate them, would you do it? They have a lot of programs online, you know, a lot of programs on computer, and I'm gonna tell you, with better technology, a lot of good stuff is gonna happen. But with better technology, we're gonna see we can see a kid that's better educated if we unlock his unlimited potential. So I really believe that when I have kids, that if I really, really seek the technology and use the technology, I can raise a kid to be a lot better than how I got raised up in the education. And being more educated. These are my thoughts. Please comment. Let me know what you think about the video. Let me know what you think about the homeschooling. You know, like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook at I'm Third Movement. Check us out on Twitter at Third Movement. You got to spell the word third out. It's THIRD. And just let me know. We're gonna have videos coming up, more news stories. We're gonna try to do a lot more from a Christian point of view, and just get you talking. At least I'm Third Movement.